I'm looking at this camera. All right.
So, who am I here with today?
You're here with Kahliel Jackson.
What school do you go to?
I attend Archbishop Curley High School.
Um, all right. You play sports, right?
Yes.
You played like a lot actually. Can you go ahead and name some of the sports you played? Like, not even through high school, just like your whole life.
Uh, well, first I started off with football at a very young age. I started off with football at 5.
Hold the mic.
I started off at football at the age of 5. Then I started playing basketball, baseball, and once I got to high school, I ran cross country.
All right. So, out of those sports, which one is your favorite, and which one do you think was the hardest for you?
My favorite one was pretty much basketball. I really enjoyed the people I played with, and I enjoyed my coaches through the years. It was just a very fun sport to play, and it's a very team sport, so it just wasn't me out there. The most difficult one I ever played was it had to be baseball because even though it do look easy, it's really hard to hit a ball coming up between 85 miles to 90 miles an hour, especially the older you get. People start maturing more, curveballs get more spin to it, sliders more spin, and yeah, so that's the hardest one I played.
Yeah, I understand baseball because I'm pretty great at everything I do, but like I remember I was playing baseball one time. I was like, cause I used to play softball at like recess and stuff. Um, I think I tried to play like maybe 2 years ago, sophomore year of high school, and I realized like I can't get away with like how fast they throw the ball now because we're getting older and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you know how they used to toss the ball and stuff. Yeah, baseball is pretty tough. What what actually got you into playing sports? Like what started you off?
What got me into playing sports was watching my siblings grow up playing it. First person I actually watched play football was my older brother Darius. I used to go watch his practices, games, and I was just very intrigued from it from a young age. I got football from him and basketball from him because I seen him play and he was pretty good at it, and it looked like he was having a good time while playing it. So I actually wanted to go play it, you know, organized sports, should I say? I wanted to play organized sports
Yeah,
and
team sports.
say it again.
Team sports.
Yeah, instead of just playing just for fun at school. So I just got into organized sports, and my sister she played softball, so that's what got me into baseball and all that.
Um, so would you say that they inspired you basically to play?
Yes.
Um, when did you realize that you could play at a high level in high school at a very good high school like MIA level?
I realized when I actually first stepped on. I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything when I say that, but when I originally went there, when I first stepped on, I felt like I belonged here and I deserved to play at this school in a very tough conference in Maryland, one of the toughest conferences to actually playing in Maryland. And stepping on that field from off rip, I knew I could play with these guys, and it was just more. It was more of I had a belief in myself, not just people around me, not just my parents, but like I had to believe in me to be able to go out there and actually go perform to the best of my abilities.
All right, so what were some of the struggles when you transitioned from like little league games into high school sports? Like what were some of the biggest challenges?
It wasn't really any big challenges. The only challenge I really faced with going to Curly was I went there as a nobody. When I first went to the first fall workouts, I was there. The coach really didn't even know my name or who I was. He just knew I was a dude that just signed up to come work out. So I'll say it's difficult trying to actually get my name out there to the coaches so they could actually know who I am and see me in the hallways. Go like, hey, that's Khalil right there. Such and such. He came out to play baseball for us and all that.
Did you feel as if like you were competing against the people that were getting scouted and like the upperclassmen already, or did you feel like you already like you made your spot on a team without I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you get what I'm saying
Yeah,
for the most
yeah.
part, right?
Uh, and anything you do, you always gonna have to compete with someone. No matter if it's people the same age as you, people younger than you, or older than you. You always gonna have to compete. I would say yeah. I felt like I had to compete because I felt like I had to play almost up to their level, almost to the varsity level. That's what my intentions were to go in there, play up to the varsity level guys to actually have an eye on me as I played through the years. Um, so yeah, mostly I had to mostly compete when I went there, especially being unknown from anybody. You know, first up on the field, didn't even know who I was, but now you actually know who I am.
Big senior, like you're a big senior now. Like you walk around tall. Yeah, yeah, I'm Khalil. You know me. uh, was there any struggles from uh my bad. Was there any struggles balancing your student life and your athletic life?
It wasn't really a struggle because I played middle school ball, so I was always used to having practice right after school, like get out, go to practice, go home and do homework. So being in high school and the workload, it wasn't a whole bunch of workload that was unbearable. Like, oh my gosh, I'm stressed from the work, but it was more of like it was more easy to actually be able to do it because I've been doing it for so long. So mostly I would just go to practice, come home, get some sleep, and do work. And I think also at MSJ, like your work's not always due the next day.
Yeah.
You got days spread out,
Mhm.
so that also made it easier for me to keep up with my work and all that, and keep up with sports. And my basketball coach, shout out to D Hop, he also took school very serious to us. Like we didn't have practice till 4. Instead of us just goofing around and all that, we had to go to the library, SDR, or a classroom to go in there, study, do work, and all that into practice time.
So, would you say that playing a sport has also helped you, like helped you, motivated you to do better academically?
Uh, I wouldn't say sports was more of a it encouraged me because at some point all is going to have to end one day. I'm gonna have to put the cleats up for good. So I was just always motivated just to do good, just not so I can don't have to play sports, but we're going to college soon, so that's also a very important thing with education. Like I wanted to go to college from a very young age, so I knew I had to do good in school, not just to go do extracurricular activities like growing up with y'all, playing sports, but like I just had to do it just so to better me and have a better future ahead of myself.
Yeah. Did you have any goals coming into playing any of your sports in high school?
I mean, obviously the obvious goal is to make varsity, also, but other goals I had, just to strive and be the best person I can, play all 4 years, and just be the best I can every day I step on the field or the court.
Um, did you have any pregame rituals or routines that you feel helped you in the games?
Yeah, I had one pregame ritual, um, in all sports actually. Every time before I would even touch the field or go out to warm up, I would dap all my team managers up, no matter how many I had. I would walk up to them, "What's up, bro?" Dap them up, dap them up. Then go out there on the field. I felt like that was just a real good start to my playing field and all that. And I really appreciate all the managers I had through the 4 years. It may not seem like it, but they actually do a lot for the sports and the teams and all that.
Um, Kind of based off that question, do you think that praying helps you, and do you think that like God has an impact on your game? Like, you feel like you'll play better if you pray or rely on God, and like, do you think you'll play worse if you don't lean on Him?
I think talking to God before a game is very important. To ask Him, like, to make sure everybody get play safe, because no matter what sport you play, it's always gonna be injuries, and someone could also get hurt. So you just pray for like safety on you, your teammates, the other people, the people around, and I feel like connecting with God, it'll just makes you more relaxed instead of being so tense. Like praying all every before every game is very important because it's also like you're not just praying to God, you're also praying with your teammates.
Mhm.
So like y'all, before y'all even get on the field, the court, or anything, you already feeling like a type of connection before you even go out to the field, with just prayer with God.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't think I've ever looked at it from like the safety view. When I asked that question to some of my friends, my theology teacher asked that question in class one time. I think I viewed it more as like, God, can you help me win? But I don't think I've ever viewed it from God, keep me safe, because I understand that, but I've never thought about it like on the field or anything. Um, do you think that your chemistry with the team off of the field affects the way you guys play?
I think chemistry off the field does affect how you play because even though some arguments might not seem like big to other people, like oh they just arguing, that could probably transpire to the athletic field from you arguing. So you could argue through first period. You might have let it go, but your teammate, you might still be holding on to it, like bro, like nah, he ain't talking to me like that way. And plus, especially if you argue around people, you a high schooler too, so arguing around people, oh nah, bro, you going for that? So that could also like co-conspire to like make that teammate hold on to a grudge, and it just knocks the chemistry off.
Yeah, like dang bro, yo, he called me a bad word. I'm not repassing the ball,
Yeah,
like that type of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. You got like a playlist or a song that you play before games?
It all depends on who we playing that day. Like some teams, I got some teams I might play EBK J-Bo, Laura, Quez Double R if I'm trying to get hyped for that game. But if it's a game I'm trying to relax, mostly like calm down, I'll probably listen to like my chill playlist or something like that.
What was one of the toughest experiences you've had in a game?
Toughest experience I had was probably like probably feeling like one bad day just to find the type of player I am. One bad day for anybody could really affect how they move on to the next thing. That's why people try to say you have a goldfish memory. But one thing it's hard to get off of things like you messed up in a certain situation, so it's hard to keep moving on as you're going through.
Um, do you have like a certain MLB player that you try to play based off of?
Uh, I would say Cattell Marte. I really like his playing style. He also plays the outfield. I think he's playing second base right now, but he's also an outfielder, which I play. And I like how he plays the game. He plays the game real fundamental. He's speedy like I am, and he just goes out there and have fun with his guys, no matter how he's doing that day.
All right. Do you think baseball or any of the sports you play might cut out. But what drives you on days when you don't feel like practicing?
My fault. What really drove me this year was being a senior and having. I'm not even gonna say having to set an example because once you're in varsity, like you should already know the standards of what you should be doing. But what really drove me is like knowing this is probably my final year playing sports. Like, hey, bro, you don't want to go out regretting like, dang, I probably should have went harder in this drill. Probably should have went harder in that drill. So that's what really motivated me.
You better than me. I did like the complete opposite. I was like, yo, I'm a senior. Man, I don't even got to do this no more. I don't know why I'm doing it. Yo, better than me. Um, what's one lesson you've learned from like failing or losing a game or anything?
One thing I learned was one bad mishap can affect the whole motion of the game. Like one bad inning, one bad possession could change. Could it's called I call it a momentum shift. A momentum shift could really change the aspects of the game. Like 1 second you could be up, you get a little bit too complacent, and the team gets some. They start getting some energy, and it's just a momentum shift going on in the game.
Um, how was some of the best ways or best? What is the best way you've recovered after practice or game?
Sleep.
um, is there anything or anyone you lean on when things get tough? From your sport.
I mostly lean on my family members to help me really keep my mind straight. I rely on friends sometimes, but I might go to my family members about things sports wise.
If baseball didn't work out, what would be your second sport?
If baseball
Yeah, basketball.
if baseball didn't work out, it would be basketball because I did have a lot of fun in that. And sometimes I feel like I should have took that serious instead of baseball.
Um, better question than the last. If you weren't playing sports, what would be like an activity you found yourself doing a lot?
Uh, I probably would have I probably would have gotten some more things like podcasting because I did think about being a podcaster for a little bit, but sports took up so much time. I could It was hard for me to really like focus on it, and that's something you really got to focus on. So with school and sports, I could never really get around to it and things like that.
You used to be like the tallest in middle school and stuff, right? Like when you realized you weren't the tallest anymore in high school and like you weren't the strongest, did that like affect you in any type of way? Like,
Nah, because you got some people out here that's just tall and just a cone. So like it really didn't affect nothing of me. It was just, oh wow, he's taller than me. Okay, so I really didn't care about it too much.
um, I don't think I have any more questions. Um, thanks for coming on the podcast. Um, have a good day, man.
Easy.
Oh, one more question. You got a diet? A diet?
I don't have a diet. I have a fast metabolism, so I just eat whatever I want.
All right, bro.